What's up, this is Chris and you are watching FlyRyde, where I'm going to show you the 3 different kinds of the Nissan GTR headlight builds. We have a base package that I call stage 1, and then we build on that. We add in more parts and we call that stage 2, and then we have a completely separate higher tier of parts that we include in the stage 3 build. So instead of so much chrome, there's going to be a lot more black components inside. This is really what we're saying. All of these parts right here used to be chrome. You can see the whole perimeter all the way around the light has been changed. The turn signal reflector right here. So instead of it staying a bright chrome color, you're getting this nice satin black finish instead. Brighter light output, switchback turn signal, and it's got the darker interior parts. The big one everybody wants is the brighter lightning bolt. So let me turn those on for you, and I'll also demonstrate the switchback function. So you can see they have a much brighter lightning bolt. Now the big change with stage 2 is it has all the same parts that stage 1 has, it's just it has extra parts on top of that. Let me turn off the white lightning bolt right now so we can demonstrate the color changing bolts, which would otherwise be washed out by that white. The colors are changing all along the lightning bolt as well as on the actual projectors themselves. So we call the projectors changing the demon eyes, and the color changing lightning bolt the color bolts. So the demon eyes don't change anything on the low beam, they just add a secondary function, which is more of just a glow that's just kind of catching light on the inside of the projector as it's changing from red to green to blue in any color combination in between. When you're driving at night, they'll still be the regular white LED low beam and high beam function. Before I talk about stage 3, why don't I show you the difference between switchback and switchback sequential. On stage 1, we've got the bright white lightning bolts, and they'll change amber for the turn signal. So let me show you the difference between a regular flashing on and off, we'll call it static turn signal feature, or the sequential, which is going to be the animated, where it's zipping up the whole headlight bolt as it goes. So now you can see, it's a big difference between the look of just a static flashing bolt and the fully animated style, like my little animated style. The difference is that there's a ton of individual little LEDs in there. People ask all the time if they get sequential or the animated lightning bolts in any of our different stages of headlights. It's such a huge undertaking to produce a part that will animate and sequentially zip across that lightning bolt that we only reserve it for the very top tier. We've had to power them with a special sequencer, a little microchip that we zap the information to from the computer, much like an ECU when you get a tune. We can change any of the animation files, and we have 2 bonus modes that come along with this right out of the box. This is one of our bonus modes. We have multiple setups that we can flash to the chips before we install them. And then there's this second one. Have it hooked up on a switch like this, which is just a little remote, little key fob that goes in your pocket, or you can have it on a Bluetooth setup so that you're just using your smartphone or tablet or anything like that. What's easier for you? You want to pull out a key fob? You want to pull out the phone? It's just a little different for everybody. You can have different modes attached to the sequential setup. So just because we're at stage 3 now does not mean that you cannot add color changing, it just means that it takes it a step higher. These things are not included. Any of the base packages have exactly what I've explained in this video and nothing more. What you can do is add a feature like Strobe to the stage 3, and now you have a lightning bolt that's strobing, and you also have the white LEDs that have been added, and we have them hooked up to a strobe controller. So 2 totally different strobe functions, but they're in the same setup. You can also do the color changing bolts on top of the animations. So we've got color changing, we've got the strobe, and we can even add the secondary strobe as well. So now we have 4 different things going on. We have the color changing demon eyes, we have the color changing bolts, we have the upgraded white LEDs hooked up to a strobe controller, and we have the animated stage 3 sequential LEDs. All of this is happening right now. extra functions to the stage 3 build, you just can't have any animation or any sequential lights on the lower packages. Stage 3 and up only, but we can add things like the strobe or the color changing lightning bolts or demon eyes. When we hit the turn signal, they'll flash amber as well. And you can run the factory bulb, you can upgrade it to LED, or you can eliminate it completely. Now you can add extra functions into the stage 2 build, such as the LED strobe function. So if you have the running lights on, you're not going to be able to see this effect because those same bolts that we're using to alternate left and right are the same ones that are powered up during the running lights. If you want to have this function going, the car needs to be parked without the engine running if you have a 2015 and up, because the running lights come on automatically on those models. Any of the 09 through 14s can have this function as you're cruising down the street if you're in some sort of a safe environment where you can do that and you don't have to worry about tickets or any law enforcement issues. Color changing stuff is not street legal for you to run around with as you're on a public highway. Anything, especially blue or red, is basically impersonating an emergency vehicle. Green, maybe not as big of a deal, but you're still gonna get messed with if you're driving down the street with strobing green changing headlights. So again, just to wrap up, we have our 3 stages of headlights. We've got stage 1 that just has the black internals, upgraded white LED lightning bolts, and the switchback function. And then we have our stage 2, which is all of that, plus the color changing that you see here. We have our stage 3, which is the only way that you're going to get the animated lightning bolts. You do have extra things that you can have added to the total package, but as a baseline, there are your 3 different stages of the Nissan GTR headlights. Thank you guys for watching, I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me here in the shop at FlyRyde. If you have any questions, for sure reach out. I'm more than happy to talk to you on the phone, email, Instagram, direct message, Facebook, however you can get a hold of us, please do. And have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by FlyRyde.